Hello, Scott. We're here to talk about the Mycelium Network, the principles, what we're about, our purpose, our goals, our missions, and I have some stuff written down, but you want to introduce yourself, Scott?
Oh, well, yeah, sure. Hey, everybody. My name's Scott Gillentine, and I'm part of the Mycelium Network. I have several skills and talents to offer, and there's things that I am looking for as well, which is the underlying purpose of this network. I find it to be quite intriguing idea and would really like to work with my brothers here and sisters to create a safe space for us to become friends and to share what we have. And TC, you got some really good ideas, and I want to be supportive of it. And I just think it might be good for us now for us just to maybe just talk about the core principles that are aligning with us and our intentions going forward. Let's talk about those things, what those mean to me, and what it could mean to all of us as we move forward together, trying to forge a new kind of future for ourselves. And it may end up being small groups of people connecting with each other for resources and for support, and you know, not just physical support, you know, spiritual and psychological and all these other areas of our lives that need support as well as just physical support. So and that's not what I'm interested in too. A soul tribe, if you will, is something that I am definitely interested in forming and attracting in my life. So, yeah, TC, let's go at it, big boy. Tell me all about what this process is and what it's all about. And let's talk about each one.
Well, okay, I'm going to share my screen. All right, we're at the core principles. One is happiness and fulfillment as central goals. The primary mission is to create an environment where individuals and communities thrive emotionally, creatively, and socially. Number two is community-centric projects, projects that are designed to enhance personal growth, foster collaboration, and improve the well-being of communities, both locally and virtually. Resource sharing and sustainability, funds generated through donations, commerce, or other means are pooled into a general expense fund to support projects and cover basic needs of members. Decentralized collaborative structure, the Happy Company operates as a node within the broader Mycelium network, connecting with others, communities, and individuals to amplify impact. So there's other things that can be said about it.
Yeah, just go with number one and go and going back down. Happiness and fulfillment as central goals. I mean, that's really groundbreaking, isn't it? I mean, just that we as a culture or society can think about something other than just earning a living, that we can, that, you know, happiness is our right, is our rightful inheritance. Getting into that mindset that we can assist each other in meeting our own goals of fulfillment by looking outside of ourselves and also offering our own special gifts into the network, and it can just grow synergistically. And I think it's a beautiful idea.
Well, thanks, Scott. And you were talking about interviewing different people, and I think that's a great idea to find out, to actually meet the membership, talk to each one and get their ideas about it, and find out from the ground up what are our values, what are our goals, what are our dreams and visions we all agree on.
Yeah, we have to define the vision. You know, we got some kind of general vision like this. These are great general concepts to go forward with, but how is that practical? How do we make it practical? And what are the benefits of doing that, of going within and also working together as community with a common goal, which is happiness and fulfillment, which is, I think, if we, well, that's what we all really want. We try to get it in different ways, but happiness and fulfillment by sharing with others and being a part of a community. It's a beautiful thing. And I think people are at the point where they're ready for this now. They see the way life has been, and it just doesn't satisfy many of us. And so why don't we just try something different, folks? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. So, and I hope that this network and many others like this will pop up and we'll start seeing the power of each individual. And as they come together, even though they are diverse, they come together and share resources and build friendships and bonds, and learning from others too, gaining from those who you don't necessarily agree with, but it's good to have a different perspective. And community is a great place to grow and learn about yourself and others and how we can benefit each other. Or
That's a good point, Scott. We want to make sure that it's a safe container or group where we can have our differences, know them, know that about each other, and still see the value in each other.
oh,
And
absolutely.
knowing that indeed we're all God.
We're all one, and each one of us is beautiful and perfect, but each one of us is different. So, and that's perfect too. Why would we want a bunch of robots? Everybody's got something special to offer, That's the beauty of this Mycelium network is it has something special to offer all of us. And as we put in, so shall we get back. And it's a great concept. And I'm excited about it. It seems like you've been spending a lot of time getting this thing together, and it's very
So
impressive.
you want me
Such
to show you how it works? All right, here we are. We're on the front page. There's a get started page where you would make an account and then sign in with or your name and your password. But anyway, so when you get here, you'll see your name and there'll be a little initials it'll be your initials. And there's a drop down menu there, and it says you can look at your profile, but what you want to do is edit your profile. And to edit your profile, you look for your name, your location, a short bio, and then here's the instructions for how you do this, adding your wants and offers, because that's the key to matching up. There's instructions on how to do it. There's a drop down list that you can go through and pick out anything you see that you like. If not, you can come down here and enter it in on the add line. And then when you add that, it adds down into your personal profile and back onto the list. So the list is ever growing and ever changing. Fill out your wants and your offers, hit save, and you're back on the home page.
nice, very streamlined, simple, yet effective.
You can look at the platform navigation, or you can browse the members, or you can go up to this little navigation menu up here in the corner. There you can see the members. Click on that and you see connect with members, and you see each one of them, their name, their bio, and you can message them or you can view their profile. And right now we have about 18 and all aren't complete. It's the beginning. And then from there, once you fill out your profile, you can check your matches and view matches. So here I have matches with Eddie and Scott and that Negro Jamin, Kathy, Wyatt, Sarah. Now I can message them and talk about setting up a connection with them and working together. Now I can tell you that I already have met with Eddie Chu and we're already collaborating and working together. He has a project similar to this one and we're working together, and that's very exciting.
I was just wondering, did you make an announcement about you and Eddie working together somewhere in our Discord or whatever? Because you're announcing a creative project. Who knows? Maybe it might inspire others. You know what you could do, TC, also here is to go ahead and maybe on this page, maybe create another page where it shows current projects, or where, people who are working together within your network, you can actually have oh, hey, look, this is, Bill and John working together on blah, blah,
Right,
blah.
a projects page.
Yeah, exactly. And they can share or not share about what they're doing, but if they do, then that's going to be something that will interest other people too, especially if there's people donating. They're going to probably be encouraged by seeing where, they're to know what's happening with the donations. So I think that should be something we should add going forward to the network. Just another way to connect people to each other is through seeing positive, happy results that are done through people who care about each other and are trading energy and resources, you know. That's a beautiful thing, and it's very inspiring for humanity to know that other human beings care about other human beings. It sounds
Right.
crazy. We really do have to step into our higher natures here if we're going to keep our world moving in a direction that we like, like in clean air, clean water.
We want to move from the profit motive to a
Mhm.
happiness motive.
Exactly, and that goes back to our first
Yeah.
principle there. Yeah, it was about happiness.
Happiness and fulfillment as central goals.
So, what is it that we're happy about? What is it that fulfills us? And fulfilling us has many different aspects to it, and this can be part of the solution to issues and people may have with finding resources and finding friendship. And these kind of networks can pop up all over, I think, and that can be a beautiful thing. It really will be, because then you're decentralizing power. You're taking the power away from all these corporate conglomerates and all these people that want you to lock you up, keep you kind of like on the treadmill. And the more we can separate ourselves and provide for ourselves, get separate from all of that and build our own futures, helping each other along the way too. Because I work for myself and I've had people along the way assist me, and then likewise, we do that for each other. And that's when life gets good, is when you start.
I just thought of the
Oh,
indigenous people that plan for 7 generations, and it's like, we're building a future for ourselves, but we should be thinking in terms of 7 generations from now. What will they be doing?
yeah, Chief Seattle also. That was a quote I think he had, was that we are not we are just stewards for our grandchildren. We're just borrowing the land from our children or our grandchildren or whatever, preparing it or keeping it or protecting it. So, and yeah, you're right. That's such a good thing to remember, because and that's an act of love, for those coming after us. It's more selfless. And
You brought up some good points of stewardship. We're just stewards for borrowing from our grandchildren. Is an attempt to move from that fear and scarcity mindset to one of trust and abundance, where we trust each other and we trust ourselves. It's like, how dare I be so bold as to be myself?
right, right, right. Authenticity? Oh no, never.
Right. And something else I thought about, when you have two or three people that have the same want, have them to begin to think in terms of coming together and working together. Sometimes the best way to get what you want is to make it up and create it, manifest it.
Yeah, well, yeah, as a creator, we all have that ability to do so. Create your reality, man, get out there. It's like I was working the corporate world for a long time in IT and all that. And, for a while there, I was in it and I was doing it, to prove something to myself, that I could get out there and work with the big boys and all that. After a while, though, I had proven it to myself and I thought, well, what would make me happy? And I'm like, well, you know what? I want to control my future. I got the skill, so I'm gonna take my gifts. I'm gonna hang my shingle out and build a clientele, and then I'll keep all the money. And I'm keeping the money. I'm in control. You know what I mean? And for anybody that has any reservations about going out on your own and doing it and getting away from all of these entanglements, it's hard to get away from all of them, but being able to make your own money and control your own future, your own schedule, working with other people who are doing that. And I'll tell you this too, for all of you out there who are like thinking that, oh, well, the only way to get along in the world is the workaday world, the 8 to 5 and Mr. Businessman and all that. I'm telling you now, when I left that world, I realized how many people out there are out there working for themselves. They got their own business. They're networking with other small business people. It's kind of like the Mycelium Network in the business world, but Mycelium's different in that we like to emphasize friendship and also a sharing community, a spirit of sharing, a spirit of giving to one another. And in doing so, we receive back in kind.
We move from competition to cooperation.
What's that?
We move from competition to cooperation.
Right, right. It's not power over, it's power with,
And
okay? Because we're all equals, and that's in the spiritual world and in the physical world. I mean, of course, in the physical world, we've been conned into thinking that some people are more valuable than the other, but that's, of course, a lie. In the spiritual world, though, everybody's equal. All souls are of one value. And that's kind of hard for some people to accept, but it is true and it is beautiful. If we can start bringing that kind of awareness, that God, that Christ consciousness awareness, that all are one, all are equal in value, and the ones that are disenfranchised and are made to suffer, that also comes back on people who have the ability to do something about it, but also for people to use these things to grow as far as figuring out how to work with other people to get where they want to go. And sometimes you need a little hand up to do so. And that's beautiful. That's what love's all about. You know, you give your gift, I give my gift, and then all of a sudden it starts to work, syncs up. And I think that's because of your vibration too. You have that higher vibration, you're going to be matching up with other higher vibrations as well, and that abundance is just going to start to flow, I think. And this is the beginnings of really making this practical, making it in a 3D sense. I mean, me and you have talked a long time about how you create thought, word, and deed, and our creation, my creation, your creation. Now, me and you are co-creating in the Mycelium Network, along with others who have decided they want to co-create too. But the vision was there for people to come together. Now, all that is in thought, word, deed. It all manifests from the non-physical thought into the physical, where we are talking about it and have talked about it. Now the deed occurs. We have the website, we have people filling out profiles, we got all of that part starting to manifest now in a physical sense. So therefore, that which we've created is now actually manifesting. That's a beautiful testimony for how we create as well. You bringing forth a vision, and here it is. And now it's just a matter of, it's the old thing about if you build it, they will come. Well,
so, Scott, a couple things came up. One is how difficult it is to create in this environment where money is everything costs money, and then the other thing is how do we create the organization in a way that it's distributive and yet there's people that are stepping up to get things done and they work as a organizing committee where if you've got a project, you know who to talk to about your project and who knows what's going on with everybody else's projects and how to connect you up. We would have somebody that their intention is to make sure that we stay with our goals and our values and our principles and remind us of what our principles are and what our goals are. And
mm-hmm.
then we have someone to coordinate it all. Then we'll have somebody that is in charge of getting more membership, taking care of the membership, knowing who the membership is, and we would have to collect money, and that means we would need a money officer.
Well, these are all the very basics of an organization, putting one together, building a good, solid foundation, recruiting people of caliber, thoughtful, meaningful people. I have no interest in trolls or, tomfoolery or that kind of business in this network. I think that there's many of the folks, all of them probably at this point are not interested in that either. I think that's something that needs to be communicated. This is not some happy little network where we just pop in and say hi. This is a functional network, and there are rules. There will be certain, things that need to be adhered to for the benefit of all. Yeah, having some officers that will oversee an oversee committee. What did you call it again? You called it the
It's the operations group.
okay. All right. So you got your operations group, and then you have different assignments for these officers here, and then you go forward and set up your set up a way for people to donate, and then continue to build your membership and recruiting in, like I said, thoughtful, meaningful people who are serious and want to participate in this. And I think people are going to really see how beneficial it can be on many levels just to know, because many people out there who are a little bit, they're isolated a little bit, or they don't have friends or people they can really rely on. The beauty of this technology is that we can still connect with each other. We can still have a soul tribe, even though we might have to do it through Zoom or whatever. That energy transference and that support can be there even with that technology, and you can build your soul tribe and those you can trust and depend on and can love you and you can love them. And no, this is really a practical thing too, in the sense that, yeah, you might not be into them making big friends, but you do want to come in and share and offer resources. And then if you just want to do it in that respect, as just a person that's functionally wanting to get in the network and be able to benefit from it, there's nothing wrong with that either. So whatever way you want to interact with that network is fine, long as it's done in a meaningful and a loving way.
Well, when I showed someone the five officers or whatever you want to call them,
Hmm.
stewards, I want to call them steward because I was thinking I'm not in charge of this. I'm a steward of this position.
Yeah, that's
This
beautiful.
isn't about me. This is about the position, and I'm just a steward.
Right, dude. Very smart. Very smart.
So that then alleviates the idea of how can you be decentralized if you've got this committee running everything? No, we're just stewarding the
Yeah,
operation.
you're administrators of the organization, call them
Right.
that. And actually, highly evolved beings, that's how they operate. They actually they don't operate in the terms of possessions and stuff. Oh, that's my house, that's my car, blah, blah, blah. They look at it more as, well, I've been given this property and these items to care for and to be a good steward with. And then, maybe at some point in time, someone else will have these things and then they will care for them. It's like for me, I have dogs. I'm a big dog lover. Well, I don't view as like I'm your master, that kind of thing. Now, my attitude more is like, I am here to help you have a wonderful dog experience, and I'm going to love you and keep you safe, and the rules I have for you are there for your protection. Be a dog. Yeah, I consider myself a steward for my dogs. Okay, I don't like thinking I own them.
Create the environment for them to have a good dog.
Exactly, but I don't feel like I own them or anything else on this planet. But we do have stewardship is such a good term to use. I like that, man. That's a good one.
Well, I was thinking about things. Do you own things or do things own you? And when you get so many that you can't take care of them, they begin to own you because you're always worried about them or there's something going on. One of them's breaking down or something. There's more than you can handle.
Yeah.
It begins to take over your life and you're no longer being true to yourself. You're bound to your goods. And
We were talking earlier about lower level energies, and that's the thing they use is distract, get you with all these physical things. So you can't really truly ascend or rise to your higher nature because you got all these things that you're looking at and dealing with and playing with. In and of themselves, they're fine. But if it's unbalanced in your devotion to these things, then you're going to be in an unbalanced situation, and you're not going to be as happy as you possibly can be because you have not been able to connect with the source of all happiness. You kind of been kind of distracted in a sense, and hopefully at some point you will see past the distractions and see what's out there, and the beauty in each other too. That's the
right.
thing,
So
man.
the thing about seeing the beauty in each other, we can also see where the indoctrination is keeping us from being ourselves. Now, sometimes I can't see that in myself, but you might help me point out, it's like you might want to take a look at this, something like because when we come together, we're coming out of a deep indoctrinated system of beliefs and ideas that for me, some of them are almost cellular, and it's like I have to continually be present to not fall prey to them.
Well, I mean, you heard of MK Ultra, right? I mean, I think there probably been a lot of people on this planet that have been subject to these types of programs that are basically highly influencing other people's minds and decisions and things. I think they probably have that kind of technology, remote viewing, things of that nature that can really wreak havoc and has wreaked havoc in people's lives. And that's where we have to really kind of retake our power and make sure we're not being led astray or led down the street with a ring in our nose. You know what I mean? And it's just my own thing though with transhumanism and all this, where they basically want to turn us into robots. And I mean, they already can make all the body parts and everything. And so it's hard to move a consciousness, though. I mean, some entities, some highly evolved species probably can do that, but we're not being made aware of that here on planet Earth yet. But yeah, man, that's why I'm saying we Gaia, Mother Earth, we have to stay pure to her, and we are organic beings, and we got to stay clear of these machines, man. Don't let the machines get you, but use them in a balanced way. Allow them to use you. Allow you to use them. Don't let them use you.
Mm,
That's the key here. Don't let them take you over. And
well, just remember they're tools. They're not the
let
rulers, they're just tools.
their tools, just like money is a tool. A gun is a weapon, but it's a tool. It can be whatever somebody wants it to be.
Well, Scott, we've been
Yes.
going for a while. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, we didn't cover all four of those areas, did we? Just that first.
No.
So we want to hit the next one on the next interview or next talk. What do you want to do? Just tell me.
Well, what I want to do is I want to stop